The ancient Romans almost never had heart attacks, even in their 60s and 70s. It was a condition so rare in their world that their medical texts barely mention it, while they wrote volumes on everything from fevers to battlefield wounds. For them, the slow, silent clogging of arteries that defines modern heart disease simply wasn't a common part of aging. If you're curious about why the ancient Romans stayed lean, energetic, and healthy deep into old age, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button so you don't miss these deep dives. To understand why, you have to step into the rhythm of a Roman day, which began not with a jolt of caffeine and a screen, but with the first light. Most Romans, from senators to shopkeepers, woke early and started moving. There was no concept of a workout as a separate chore to be scheduled. Movement was woven into the fabric of obligation and social life. A Roman citizen would walk to the forum, climb the steps of the basilica, stand for hours in political debates or legal proceedings, and then walk back home. If they were a craftsman, farmer, or soldier, the physical labor was intense and constant. This wasn't about burning calories. It was about fulfilling the day's duties. And this constant, low-grade physical activity had a profound effect. It kept their muscles sensitive to insulin, meaning the energy from their food was efficiently ushered into cells to be used as fuel rather than being stored as deep, visceral fat around their organs. Their bodies were in a near-constant state of gentle fuel burning, which prevented the metabolic stagnation that is the precursor to heart trouble. Their diet was the perfect partner to this active life. Think of the Mediterranean sun, and you have the essence of the Roman plate: whole grains like farro and barley, lentils and chickpeas, an abundance of seasonal vegetables like onions, leeks and cabbage, olives, nuts, cheese, and fish. Meat, especially red meat, was a luxury consumed perhaps once a week or only on festival days. The primary fat was olive oil, used liberally, and sugar, as we know it, didn't exist. Honey was a rare sweetener, and fruit was seasonal. This way of eating provided a steady, slow-burning source of complex carbohydrates and healthy fats without the violent spikes and crashes in blood sugar that come from processed foods and sugars. Their livers weren't overwhelmed with fructose and toxic fats, a process that leads directly to inflammation and the dangerous type of cholesterol that damages arteries. Instead, the anti-inflammatory compounds in their vegetables, olive oil, and fish actually protected the inner lining of their blood vessels, keeping them smooth and elastic. Then there was the profound importance of community and recovery, centered around the baths. Visiting the public baths wasn't just about getting clean. It was a daily social ritual for stress relief. After a day of work, a Roman would spend hours at the thermae, moving through a series of rooms from hot to cold, engaging in conversation, having a massage, and essentially signaling to their nervous system that the work was done. This daily wind down was a powerful antidote to chronic stress. We now know that constant stress floods the body with cortisol, a hormone that directly encourages the body to store fat around the midsection and triggers inflammatory pathways that irritate the cardiovascular system. The Roman bath ritual, a dedicated time for physical and mental decompression, helped keep those destructive stress hormones in check. Their sleep, too, was largely dictated by natural light, leading to more consistent and restorative rest cycles, which further regulated appetite hormones and repair processes. So what was happening inside the body of a 70-year-old Roman who had lived this way for decades? The effects were systemic. First, their blood vessels remained flexible and clear. Without a flood of processed sugars and damaged fats, their LDL cholesterol particles were the large, fluffy kind that don't easily embed themselves into artery walls. The constant low-level movement kept their blood flowing smoothly, preventing the kind of sluggish circulation that allows plaque to form. Their insulin levels remained low and stable, which meant their kidneys weren't constantly telling the body to retain sodium and drive up blood pressure. Their baseline inflammation was remarkably low. While they certainly died of infections, injuries, and other age-related failures, the internal environment of their body was not one of constant, silent corrosion. Their hearts were pumping blood through clean, responsive pipes, and their muscles, including the heart muscle itself, remained efficient from a lifetime of use. Even their sexual health and libido, often discussed in Roman writings well into old age, points to robust hormone function and blood flow, all downstream effects of a metabolism that wasn't burdened and inflamed. The Roman resilience wasn't about magic or superior biology. It was the inevitable physical outcome of a life lived in tune with the demands of their environment. Their bodies were shaped by the necessities of walking, working, eating whole foods from the land and sea, and finding daily relief from stress in community. Their hearts kept beating strongly for decades because the world they built asked them to move, fed them simply, and gave them time to rest, creating a biology that was protected from within. Next, we're exploring the surprising Roman secrets to lifelong joint health and mobility, how their approach to movement kept them agile and strong well into old age. You won't want to miss that one.